Well, hello, in good time zone. And what is up, gamers? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Hello, hello. And a good day to you, friends. Hello. Hope you're all having wonderful Thursdays. Hope you're all having very good weeks as well. I'm just getting my lighting situation set up. And oh boy, it's so hot in here. I was very comfy earlier. I was like, it's a nice day, it's fairly cool, and then I ate lunch, and I've just been, like, so uncomfortably sweaty since eating lunch. Like, I'm so hot, I hate it. It's awful. It's awful, it's just the worst. But, hi. I'm here, at least. So, hello, friends. And I look like this right now. This is one of my teas, which is iced because, as I say, I'm too warm. I'm just too stinking warm. Let me say hi to who's in the chat. Who's here? Who's here? We have straight out the gate. We have a hydrate from Pickles. Well, I'll take a sip of one of my teas, which is it's mint. That sip was mostly water, because I think when the ice starts to melt into your drink, the water that doesn't have any tea in it kind of settles onto the top. So maybe I'll stir it up with the back of this paintbrush. So professional. Anyways, hello Pickles, welcome and thank you for the hydrate. You have no idea how much I need it. Hello Jack as well. Welcome in. Lovely to see you again. Hope you're having a good one. Joe, thank you very much for the lurk and boop. Hello Dan, how are you doing? It's wonderful to see you as well. Hello, Leaky. Welcome in and a good afternoon to you. Congratulations on the 5-stream steak. I hope that you enjoy your 5 steaks. I hope you can put them to good use. I hope you get to enjoy them with whatever accoutrements you like with your steak. Maybe some chips, maybe a nice little bit of sauce. I don't know. It's up to you. Pickles, thank you very much for a. How many streams is this steak? It's 15 stream steak. My goodness, that's so many steaks. That's a fat sack of steaks. That's many steaks. Anyway, thank you. 15 stream steaks. That's wonderful. Just like this segue to today's stream sponsor, Sammy, who's a wonderful bean. No, you are. Thank you again. Tomcat, hello. Welcome in. Welcome. Hope you're having a lovely day. And Jack. Thank you.
Oh hell yeah, Jack Lantern Art just subscribed.
Jack, thank you very much for the sub. Thank you. Welcome into emote use and other such things. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And Samantha says, drink your leaf water. Okay, I'll have another sip it if I must. Oh, she's cold and she's minty. What a winning combination. There used to be a coaster here. And now there is no coaster here. I don't like that. I don't want to put my mug directly onto the desk. But my coaster's gone away, and I can't use my paints as a coaster. Because I'm gonna be using my paints! Oh no! I can't. Okay, tell you what. You know what's gonna make a good makeshift coaster? This roll of masking tape is a coaster now. Look at how perfectly the mug nestles into it. It was meant to be. It fits perfectly. This mug has a very cute ghost on it. But I can't show you right now without spilling tea all over the desk, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it until I finish drinking it. Oh, pretzels. Alright, paint yourself a coaster, says Samantha. You know what? Listen, this watercolor paper is 300 GSM. It's like a nice thickness and it's very absorbent. So, as a makeshift coaster, you could do worse than this paper. Oh, anyways, that's something I sketched earlier today. But anywho, this is Park Royal Station for anyone who's just joining us. And this is what we're going to be maybe finishing today. I don't know. Maybe don't put your mug directly onto the desk, says Tomcat. Your forehead will get paint on it. Thank you. Jack says, I'm going to co-work with you for a bit, working on a very cute gift for a friend of a dodo and a red panda being fancy divas together. Oh my goodness, I love it already. That's adorable. I hope you have a lovely time. Hello, coaster / roll of tape. Is this coaster / roll of tape a friend of the channel now? I think they maybe are. Anyways. Dan says, oh god, she used the F word, we're jing now. Wait a second, did I say... No, what did I say? Did I do a swear? I mean, it's not unheard of. This is an adult stream for grown-ups, so, like, occasionally it happens, but, like, do I need to be exclamation mark languaged? Oh, I used that F word. That F word relating to the doing of artwork. Ah, snails. I'm gonna not say it again, just in case. Unless saying it twice cancels it out. I don't know how the mechanics of the magic of artwork works, but, I mean, let's be real, that was never gonna happen anyways. But, where the nuts is my phone? Where the nuts is my phone? I'm gonna need that, and I don't think, is my phone in the room with us right now? Is my phone in the room with us? It has my reference photo on it that has the... Oh shoot, it's in the corridor. Also, someone's opening my door. Let me just make sure that that's someone I know and love. One moment, please. Hello? It's my sunshine. Hi, baby. Hi. Welcome in. Thank you. Watch out for this giant box in the bedroom door. My kitchen goodies have arrived.
Is it still in the box?
No. It's in the kitchen.
No excuse. Such.
Hello? Anyways, I've lost my phone.
Oh.
So I need to find my phone. Are you pinging my phone? It might ping my camera phone that's filming the stream right now.
Why is that not an airplane?
That is an airplane mode. Can you send me a text instead? I was gonna check and see if he's in the bathroom.
No idea.
Okay, I definitely heard a sound.
I didn't.
Well, it's not in the bathroom. It's in the bedroom. Heck, chat. Oh, Beans, I found it. Sorry, sweetheart. Also, I love you. Yay, we found it. He sent me some strategic texts. And Civic.
I haven't got glasses on. I'm literally just tapping.
Did that just did some a random key smash of letters autocorrected to Civic? Okay. I thought he was just naming cars. Anyways, I'm back. Hello. Maybe Sammy was actually just saying Finnish. Yes, after we're done with this, I'm gonna do a nice cityscape from I don't know, maybe Helsinki or Turku. I don't know. Other places in Finland exist. Saying it twice cancels. Saying it 3 times summons a Finnish person. Oh, that's no bad thing. I have some friends who are Finnish. That's quite all right with me, as long as it's someone I like who's Finnish. That's fine then. Samantha says, welcome home, moderator / spouse, Twitch user / Callier. He says, thank you. Leaky says, P.S. moderator / spouse rather than a burglar / bad man. No, it is a resident / very good man. Everything is fine. Anyways, sorry for the I couldn't find my phone saga. I think I was having like a fine, normal brain Thursday, and then I hit start streaming, and I think my one brain cell was like, okay, I've completed the task. I'm done now. You can't ask me to do anything else because I won't be able to do it. Because I made somewhat of a dog's breakfast of the I'm going live message, and the link didn't work in Discord, so I had to like edit it and then try and copy paste it again into the various other social medias and what have you. But I also copy-pasted the @everyone and accidentally @everyone in someone else's Discord, which I'm hoping just didn't do anything because they have their moderation settings set up correctly. Either that or I blasted somebody else's Discord with, hey, I'm streaming, which would be a really bad look. So I'm hoping that didn't work. And that kind of stressed me out a bit, and so that's how the start of stream was for me. Anyways, thank you, sweetheart. my moderator slash spouse ordered some stuff, and it came with a treat. So we now have a Tango Cherry Sour Fizz Chew Bar, which sounds, honestly, probably incredibly sweet and might ruin my teeth, but, like, delicious. So, thank you, Sunshine. This is the 1930 set from Choosing Keeping. We are painting with it again, because once again, it is genuinely flawless color scheme for what we're doing today, so happy with that. And I have nowhere to put it because I've got a mug over here. Okay, I'm going to move this mug. I'm going to move this mug so I have somewhere to put my paints. Otherwise, I don't. I'm sipping my beverage again. I've got a third text from my spouse. Prelude. I'm getting more texts from you. Are you still texting me random key smashes? Because they are auto-correcting into words if you are.
Sending Honda cars now.
He's just sending me Honda cars now. Oh, is Prelude a car?
Yeah.
What a strange name for a car.
Japanese, you're probably not allowed to insult them.
Oh, okay, fair. And to be fair, a lot of car names are weird. And I don't really understand why they would name a car that. But anyways. Jack says, one of the silliest, the task is done brain moments I've had was once I went to the bathroom and instead of flushing the handle, I turned the light off. My brain went, yep, the switch is flipped. And then I was like, why is it dark in here? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you poor thing. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I had an incident, like a week and a half ago, I think, where I went to, because where I live, the light switch in the bathroom is one of those ones where it's like like a string that you pull for the bathroom. Everywhere else in the house is a light switch, but the bathroom, it's a string that you pull. I pulled the string, and the string just fully fell off. So that was fun. It was not fun. That was terrifying. I was literally just about to leave the house to go to go catch a train as well. So I was just like, just freaked out. Because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to have a relaxing journey away now. I'm going to be away for like 3 days, and I'm just going to be thinking about the fact that our lights are broken the entire time. I mean, it's fine. It's fixable by basically just, we sort of tied it back together, but like, and also a replacement cord costs about £3, but still, oh my god, stress, pressure, stressor. It wasn't fun. It was super not fun, and I didn't enjoy it. No, not a good time. Anyways, I need to figure out what I'm doing with the rest of this paint job. Which is proving to be an interesting exercise in running on vibes and just hoping things coordinate well and look fine. Because I'm kind of, for the bits like this that are little like shop fronts and stuff, I'm kind of going off book of like the actual station and letting my imagination take hold a bit. But for anyone who isn't familiar with this location. This is in a bit of western London. The station is called Park Royal. It's on the... I want to say it's on the Piccadilly line? I should know this off by heart because I'm painting it. But, would it be a me stream if I was that prepared? Probably not. Yeah, okay, yes, of course it is. Piccadilly line between Alperton and North Ealing stations. I'd never heard of Alperton. I have done one of those can you name every station on the London Underground network quizzes, like, multiple times, and I usually manage to get up to about 60% of them, which I feel like is pretty good, and yet I have never named Alperton, and I feel a little bit ashamed about that. But I guess it's probably fairly boring. But I think this station is really cute, like, architecturally. So I wanted to do some painting of it because of that. So here we are. Dan says, yes, that's the rule. Can't paint anything unless you can know where it is. I did know it was on the Uxbridge branch of the I knew it was, okay, yes, I did know it was on the Uxbridge branch of the Piccadilly line. I think it possibly used to be on a different, yes. That's why I was confused. Alfreton, that's in the Midlands. It's spelled differently. That's why I was confused, because it used to be on the District line, but then in 1932, it changed to the Piccadilly line. This, saying it that way implies I was there and I remember that this happened. I'm not that old. That predates me by about 50 years. Oh no. Anyways, I'm gonna take another sip of my mint tea. It's nice and minty. I swear I had like ideas and talking points and things that I wanted to bring up and questions I wanted to ask the stream today. They are all gone. They are all completely gone. It's just me and Station, I guess. But if I remember, I will let you know. I can tell you that this station was it was architectured by, they don't have a Wikipedia page. Their names were Welch and Lander. I don't know what their first names are and whether this is just like a pair of people or a firm. It doesn't say. But it was inspired by the work of Charles Holden, who did a lot of stations on the Piccadilly line, and various others, the Northern line. For Hank and Molly, yes, Hank Welch and Molly Lander. There we go. Thank you for knowing this, Dan. That's definitely a true fact, for sure, for sure. For real, for real. I wholeheartedly. I have no reason not to believe you. Okay. I want to give these shoppies like little signs and stuff. I need to decide what colors the little signs should be. I think I want to do, okay, one of these is going to be like a little restaurant, the other one's going to be a little coffee shop, and I think to do that, I want a color that's like, I want a color for like the coffee shop sign that's like a millennial pink. If anyone remembers millennial pink from some years ago, it was like a thing. But this is going to be a slightly altered millennial pink for in context. So I'm literally just going to use this to stand in. No reason not to believe me apart from your entire prior experience with me, said Stan. I mean, sure, this is our coffee shop. And there's our little coffee shop sign. Like so. I'll try and get some tiny text in there. Probably not. Shoot. How am I going to do the teeny tiny text? How am I going to do the teeny tiny text? I mean, I'm definitely going to, it's going to say Park Royal, and I'm going to try and get it to say Underground. But, do I have to do it for all of these too? Ah, jeez. Ah, pizza. Why am I doing this to myself? This is incredibly hard. This is just, Why? Why would I do such a thing to myself? Whom's is to say? Oh shit, I was gonna make this a post office. This is entirely the wrong color for a post office, but never mind. It's a something else now. Yay! Maybe it's a chippy and it's closed for some reason. Why not? This one over here, I think I want it to be like a little convenience shop, like a little spa or something like that. So maybe if I don't know, I don't have a good like stand-in for what green should look like in this context, but I think that's all right. I think that's all right, and then I'll stick some lettering on it. Don't forget to do a W.H. Smiths and draw all the bookshelves. Says Dan, I can't paint bookshelves into everything. I know, it's basically like my stereotype now is that I just do bookshelves, and indeed, I sketched something last week that, oh, would you look at what's behind these Star Treks? It's just an absolute butt ton of books in an old Dracula castle. But listen, I can't do it every time. For one thing, I don't want to be, listen, I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't want to be one of those artists that's just really good at doing one specific thing and nothing else ever. I would much rather be mediocre at a very wide range of subjects. And I feel like I'm maybe doing okay with that. Jack says bookshelves are just so convenient to not draw room perspective.
Attention,
Twitch user
Except,
Sammy
beans.
Kelsch.
shoppers.
Kirsty! Kirsty, oh my goodness gracious. Hello. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome. Hello, Kirsty. How was your stream? What did you get up to today? It is wonderful to see you, and hello. Let me get a shout out for Kirsty in the chat, and let me say hello to everybody. Oh god, I'm a mess. Heck. Alright, hello, friends, hello, and welcome in, Raiders, hello, Pickles! Ah, fancy meeting you here, hello, Ducky, hello, Charlie, hello, Smithson, hello, Spudgers, hello, Rex. Dan says it's like Superman saying, wow, I don't fly all the time. Well, listen. I do know how to paint things other than bookshelves. Hello? What? Ah! Darling! Thank you very much for the sub. What's happening?
Oh hell yeah, Sledge Callier just subscribed. 53 months. That's almost a year. Also, Thunder.
Was that thunder? I don't know if y'all heard, but apparently there was thunder just now. But thank you so much for the 53-month sub. What the heck? Jam, hello, welcome in. Hi, Sammy, things are normal, says Kirsty. I'm so glad to hear that things are normal. That's the best way for things to be. Casa, hello, welcome in. Smithson says, did you know Kirsty has no bangs anymore? I saw Kirsty's amazing new hair. Kirsty, she looks so nice. Your hair looks so good, Kirsty. By the way, just in case anyone's not familiar with Kirsty, Kirsty has really, really nice looking hair. So that's a thing. And is also a wonderful, wonderful artist and a great friend. As always, this is an Art Tax optional stream, Kirsty. If you have anything that you would like to share, feel free to whisper a link in my direction. No pressure, of course, but if you would, I'd be more than happy to share with the class. Anyways. Oh yeah, there's definitely thunder happening outside. Hello. I don't know if any of that is picking up, but it's very out there. It's nice. It's lovely. I love it. I want my car to be this blue, says Rex. Ooh, that'd be so stinking pretty. Just tell them, just go to the dealership and tell them that the color is Gunroku. In my horrible Japanese. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Indeed. That's thunder, so, we may lose power at some point. Okay, if the stream ends very abruptly, that'll be why. Oh, beans. Anyways. Sorry if I missed any chat. I hope everything's fine. I will send a blue sky link, but only because I like being in Sammy's DM, says Kirsty. Woo! Thank you very much indeed. The haircut shag. It's a beautiful haircut. Cassis says hello to moderator / spouse, which is, of course, Twitch user / Callier, who's my moderator and my spouse. Kirsty says, Sledge, don't look, it's not what you think. We know. It's fine. Anyways, what is happening today? I don't know. Anyways, to anyone who's new here, hello and welcome. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays and occasionally on Thursdays as well if I'm feeling extra crispy. Next week we are diving back into Fields of Mystery on Thursday and I'm very much looking forward to it. But anywho, in the meantime, hi. I'm a watercolor artist. I work primarily in watercolors and similar wet media. I do traditional art. I'm not normally this. I'm usually better at talking than this. But anyways, I think my brain cell has left the room. But anyways. Alternately, fixed by a bird, indeed. Indeed, indeed. Or a type of carpet. Wet media, says Dan. You know, paint. Paint. Also, I would consider watercolor to be one of the wettest of media because it's got water in the name. I am very intelligent. Anyways. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. That's so loud. Goodness gracious. In case you're wondering what my I haven't posted any new art in far too long. I have not posted nearly enough art of recent. But in case you're wondering what my artwork looks like, just let me vamp for a second because it takes a second to... Like, oil painting is lubed media, says Cassie. Yes, you understand. You understand perfectly. Apologies for the blank screen for a second. It's... my settings have gone all terrible. Where is the... Okay, there. Okay, this is an artwork I did recently. This is actually from my most recent YouTube video. I made a little graphic about saponification, because that's a thing that we talked about in it. But more importantly than that, Kirsty does wonderful artworks, as we can see. And Kirsty also has a shop. There's a link to it here. And has done some really lovely lino prints and stuff, and photos and stuff, and does, like... Oh, this was the birthday artwork! Just so stinking cute. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Kirsty, it's Kirsty's a lovely place to hang out. Sammy's art is the best. No, Kirsty's art is the best. Paintings are wet drawings, says Kirsty. Yes, you understand. Spend all your money in Kirsty's shop, not mine. Or both. Don't just yeah, anyways, please don't forget to pay your own bills. This why am I like this? This is Leaf, who is a friend of Kirsty's stream and an absolute adorable little creature. Anyways, we love Kirsty. This anyways, wait, no, spend money in Sammy's shop. We need to keep buying foods. This is also true. I like being able to keep the lights on. But here's a shout out for Kirsty. Who, once again, you should go follow. If you're not already following Kirsty, you should go do that. Wholeheartedly recommend. Anyways, and yes, also buy Kirsty's art. Kirsty does amazing art, and you should go support. You should go watch Kirsty's stream. There's streams. They're a very fun time. Anyways, hello. And thank you again so much for the raid, Kirsty. I'm sorry that I've been an inarticulate mess this entire time. I don't know what the flip is going on. Anywho, if we spend all our money in Sammy's shop, she has agreed to take us in when we get evicted. I don't remember saying that. I don't remember saying that. I don't think that's true, Dan. I'm gonna hope that you maybe don't get evicted. Maybe please continue to have, like, homes. Okay. But it was strongly implied. I don't think that's true. I think you're maybe reading slightly against the text here with regards to what's actually been said. Obviously, you know, death of the author and all that with regard to intent, but that's more in the case of, like, a novel or, like, Star Trek trying to tell me that, like, the two characters who were obviously dating weren't dating just because Rick Berman's a homophobe. That kind of thing. I mean, technically, if you buy enough art prints, you could probably, like, stack them together and build, like, a wall out of them. And then if you made enough of these walls out of those art prints, you could make it into an entire house. I would recommend reinforcing it with something other than, like, you know, 300 GSM beautiful art print paper printed with archive quality inks. The paper is recycled. And it's genuinely really beautiful quality. Rent is buying 350 art prints per month. Oh boy. If I was selling 350 art prints per month, I would be a very happy camper. Anyways. I don't know how many art prints it would take to um to actually build, like, you know, sort of a stable foundation for a structure. I feel like it would be a lot, though. I would recommend not doing that. um I would recommend not doing that. I don't think that's wise. I'm not an expert in, like, you know, carpentry or like architecture or home renovations or anything like that. So obviously, take anything that I say in that respect with a massive grain of salt. However, I would wholeheartedly recommend not building a house out of nothing but art prints. For one thing, they probably won't hold up super well to like a thunderstorm because they're not super waterproofed. I do have vinyl stickers that are significantly more waterproof, so maybe if you put like a thick layer of vinyl stickers around the outside. That being said, if water gets at the adhesive under the sticker to a great enough degree, it might eventually start to degrade some of that adhesive and they were to unstick. Oh, geez. Maybe, I don't know, could you... I'm wondering, what kind of temperature would you need to melt down enamel pins into a material that you could use as, like, the outside of a house? But for, like, thermal regulation, I feel like that, because they're metal on the back, and I think that would just create... You don't want a house where, like, where the exterior walls are made out of metal, because you're just making, like, for, like, insulation, that's just a horrible, like, sort of hot... No. That's like, you know when it's the summertime and you get in the car and it's like 10 to 20,000 degrees hotter in the car than it is outside? I'm imagining that, but times like a lot because it's your house. That feels like a terrible idea and you shouldn't do it. A6 is small, but the paper is thick, so it's hard to estimate. Yeah, like I said, it's 300... It's the same GSM, which is grams per square meter, as the paper that I use for my watercolor paintings, which is, you know, like 300 GSM is fair. Like, you can see the thickness on this paper. It's reasonably thick. But you would still need, like, many layers of it. Like, for instance, there's how many sheets are still left in this block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 sheets in this block, and it's, like, that thick. That's what, like, half a centimeter, maybe? I don't know anymore. 3 stream steak for Sammy Ann. Hell yeah. Thank you for the 3 steaks and welcome in. It's lovely to see you, my friend. This is, yeah, all of these things are a terrible idea. A6 is small, but the paper is thick, so it's hard to estimate, says Rex. Dan says, Sammy has just pre-evicted us all. No, listen, for one thing, I do not ever want to be a landlord. That is like the opposite of my dream. That sounds horrible. I don't... Like, I will say, you know, in my current living situation, we're blessed with, like, excellent landlords. They mostly just kind of stay out of our lane and just, like, you know, send someone round to fix things if things need fixing, and send someone round to check that, like, the gas isn't going to explode as per legal requirements, and that's kind of it. It's great. But Samantha has quoted me as saying, I would wholeheartedly ... recommend building a house out of nothing but my art prints. I feel like that ... is doing a heavy lifting there, and we should probably pay more attention to the ... than anything else in that statement. Taking my words a little bit out of context there, friendo. Anyways, Rex says, you would need somewhere between 500 and 1200 C, depending on the zinc iron concentration in the alloy. Geez, I feel like this is probably more trouble than it's worth. I feel like there are more efficient ways of building, like, a solidly constructed and comfortable to live in home than using any of my artistic output. If you were to take all of my wood pins and then, like, sand them down so that they actually, like, fit together, like, sort of a funky jigsaw, and then, like, like use some kind of like wood glue or something to like hold them all together. You could create some kind of wood structure with that, I suppose. That could be useful. You could, oh, could you wet the paper down into some kind of pulp and then add something to it to give it some more like rigidity and then use that as a building material? I don't know. Speaking of, I actually have a whole bunch of these really old greeting cards that a friend of mine who owned a bookshop at the time had a whole bunch of greeting cards printed of my artwork at the time. But this is my artwork from like many, like way pre-stream years ago. It's art that I look at now and I'm like, ooh, Anyways, when he closed up shop, he had a bunch of these left over, and so now I have these just boxes of, like, greeting cards with very old art on them that I'm not gonna sell, that I have no use for, and I don't know what to do with them. I've been reusing the little, like, plastic sleeves that they were packed in to, like, pack up new artworks when I sell them, but the rest of it, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do with this? I don't know. Sammy is currently inventing wasp nests from first principles. Sledge says burn them. What, just like as a fuel source? I genuinely contemplated just sort of like pulping them back down and making like new recycled paper out of them. And then painting things on that recycled paper. Because I feel like that might be a better use, because genuinely, I'm like, I sold a couple of them, I think, when I still had an Etsy shop, but, they're not really representative of my art style or my output anymore, so I'm like, nah. This is how you can melt the enamel pin, says Rex. Yeah, it's just an incredibly hot fire. I'd need, like, if I knew a blacksmith. Anyways, wasps scare me, says Joe. Me too. They are, I occasionally have to visit an office, and the office is currently having a wasp problem, which is, how shall I say, terrifying! And the current solution is, if they show up, they like to try and get indoors to escape the hot weather. So if it's hot out, just close all the windows. There's no AC in the building. So you're gonna feel like absolute boo-boo garbage and be sick, but like, that's the solution. Just close all the windows and feel like you're gonna die so that the terrifying buggies don't get in. Yay! Anyways, yeah, Smithson says to recycle it into new paper, and it'd be mid-toned-ish now. Yeah, I think it could look really cool. You're right. I should honestly, like, friend of the channel, Kirsty, who raided earlier, thank you again for the raid, has done paper making on stream, and it seems like such an interesting, fun thing. I kind of want to do that. Attempting to make an art print house is a terrible drawing time. Okay, it's terrible drawing time, everybody. For anyone who's new here, terrible drawing time is a phenomenon wherein for 5,000 channel points, I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing. From memory or sight unseen on the terrible drawing canvas, which is this. We have Dracula as a book. We have me, but my hair is made out of rhubarb. We have this beautiful cow in a field of sunflowers. We have myself and my moderator / spouse, if he had no beard, which is very strange to me because I've only ever known him as a beardy man. I think he's pretty much been a beardy man since, like, before university, I want to say. How long have you had your beard, Sunshine? Did you have it in secondary school?
Try not to knock the water bottle over as well, please.
Thanks. Anyways, Kirsty has done multiple arts involving buckets of various goops, and we love the goop. We love to see it. Sammy Ann says, we just evicted a colony of wasps from our kitchen. Oh no! Kitchen stoves. Oh no! Oh, you poor thing. That's terrifying. I reserve that word for the insect alone. I hate wasps. So, Samantha says, I assume Sledge was born with a beard. I have seen a photo of, like, little boy Sledge. Pre-beard. It's very cute. But very strange. Anyways, yeah, this is terrible drawing time. I have 5 minutes to draw a character or concept of yours choosing on the terrible drawing canvas. And today's choice is a house. Attempting to make a house out of art prints. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a little bit sort of abstract and creative with this in order to illustrate it, as intended. I think, but I'll try my best. Sunshine. 1994. Oh my goodness, my husband's beard is the same age as Star Trek Voyager. Amazing. Anyways, what a wonderful year. I remember it well. I think I owned a pair of dungarees and was listening to a lot of alternative music. Anyways, okie dokie. I'm gonna start the timer. Art print house. 5 minutes on the clock, starting now. All right. Well, as we know, my default house design is very sophisticated. And when I say my default house design is very sophisticated, it's I put some lines and then I connect up the lines until it looks like no one lives in a house that looks like this, but we all recognize that this is what a house looks like, right? Like you know it. Okay. So how am I gonna do? So let me plop in sort of the door frame. I feel like the door is gonna kind of the door is kind of flopping over because it's made out of watercolor paper. That was just an evil twin beard. The full beard didn't come in until around 1999. That's when 1999, of course, therefore, is when my moderator slash spouse took over from his mirror universe self. As the main moderator slash spouse of this universe. Hello, Ernesto. Welcome in. It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm just drawing a house that's made out of my own art prints. So how the heck am I going to do this? Okay, so I think we've got some smaller art prints making up the roof tiles up here. And they're looking a little bit jank. But you know, they've been glued onto a roof, so what do we expect? Oh no. I'm gonna get a little bit creative with some of the the bigger walls here and just say that this what if we blew up one of my art prints into a real big art print and used that as a nice super thick paper, to which end there is absolutely just a little here's Terry the Forg Mage in giant form just on the wall of this house. Amazing. With his little magic staff. There we go. And then there's some oh, he's walking in the woods. So there's some trees in the background. Some happy little trees and little mushrooms here and there. That kind of thing. You know, honestly, I think this would be a pretty dang cool looking house. Who wouldn't want to live here? This would be amazing. Possibly not. I don't know. And then maybe, okay, you know what? I'm going to say that the front of the house, I'm going to cover in some stickers and stuff as well. So we've got some little stickers of here's donut guy. Here's coffee dude. And I don't know what the heck other stickers have I made? I forget. Maybe a little oh, I've done a sticker of I've done bird stickers. Here's a bird sticker. This is, of course, very obviously a kakapo which I have done a sticker of. And that is just holding together like a wall of art prints, I reckon. You know, listen. This would be an excellent use of my art prints if you don't want to just look at my art, I guess. Probably a terrible use of it. I love how tiny you draw, says Jack. I don't know. Here's my secret. I don't know how to draw big. Like if doing like an entire piece on like what is this, A5 feels really weird to me. Really weird. Like the line weight is all wrong with my pencil, and it's just bizarre. What other stickers can I put? Oh, I've done like milk guys as well. So maybe I'll stick like a little milk carton guy over here. There we go. And okay, we're done because the timer's gone. All right. So,
Plap, 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 plap.
All right, I'm going to have to hold very still. I don't want to I'm going to try and be quiet cuz there's a kiwi bird on my head and I don't want to startle it. Sledge, thank you very much for the sticky. Thank you very much for the kiwi bird sticky. I love them. Thank you, thank you. Have you heard of Casey's No Art? Says Jack. Yes, of course I have. Of course I know Casey. Casey is a wonderful artist, an excellent friend of the stream, and a very, very cool human being. This is a house made of my artwork. Oh no. Hello, Tals, welcome in. Hello, hello. So yeah, here is terrible drawing time. I hope you're happy. Anyways, moving on. That is an amazingly placed sticker, says Samantha. I love it. I love it so much. Anyways, Jack says, yay, I was going to tell you about the art gym, but no need. Indeed, indeed. Is good stuff. Okay. I can paint again now. Briefly. Because we're going to have a break fairly soon. And I've done, ever so much work today. Oh my goodness. We've been streaming for an hour, and I feel incredibly productive. We've painted these 3 things. So no. Okay. But I mean, that's par for the course, isn't it, for an Ort stream, I reckon, to not go overboard with the actual, like, accomplishments. We don't want to, that would be silly. And we don't want to do that. Okay, this is a restaurant of some kind. I'm not sure what kind of restaurant it is, but it's a restaurant of some kind. I think that'd be nice. Thanks for the sticker inspo, says Jack. Oh, glad to be of service. Very glad to be of service. Dan says you can't rush the creative process. I wholeheartedly agree. I think I mentioned last stream that I used to feel like I needed to start and finish an art piece per stream. And I realized fairly early on that I don't need to do that. Jack said, oh, the next piece I'm doing is going to be a kiwi and a flying fish. Yes, do it. That's adorable. Hell yeah. I love it. I love it so much. That's so good. Okay. We have some little signs. I'm going to put like a tiny bit of detail into these little like shop fronts as well. But I think I want to paint in sort of the main actual colors of the building first. And I'm continuing to use my incredibly stupid tool for doing that, which is literally just taking a photo of the same location in similar lighting and just zooming in super far onto whatever area I want to paint in and taking a look at what color that is and then using that color to paint. Anyways, snooze, says Sledge. No, I'm awake. Anywho. Okay, so that's actually this is the interesting thing about this, is that looking at it in context, I wouldn't think, that's a much darker, it's like a much darker brown than I thought it would be. But then it also gradients quite a lot, because this is it a little bit closer to the windows, which is a much brighter brown. But up here, it gets really dark. That's super fun. Anyways, gonna grab a super quick break. I will be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm so sorry if you see ads. But you're not going to miss anything, because I'll be on a break as well. So have a beverage, have a stretch, do all that jazz. I'll be back very, very shortly, and enjoy the BRB song in the meantime. BRB, everyone! Yay, I think we're back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hope that the ad break wasn't too unpleasant. I've been getting a lot of ad breaks for, like, I think it's like the Esports World Cup. I confess, this may be very old person of me, but I don't really know very much about esports. It's just, I mean, they call it sports, but it's just, it's like competitive video game playing. Yes? It's just competitive video game playing, right? Which I think that's neat. But I also, I don't know, don't feel compelled to, like, watch it. Also, is chess an esport? I thought chess was a board game. I do think chess is neat. I don't think I've ever properly played chess. I've had the basic rules of chess explained to me, but I don't think I have the brain for chess. It's too... Sport doesn't necessarily mean physical activity, but I understand that vibe, says Rex. Yeah, that makes sense. Online chess has gotten very... That is true. Online chess is very big, which is quite cool. But again, I still don't know. I still don't know anything about chess. And I'm bad at it. I watched a play about chess once at the Manchester, the big festival of various arts that they hold every year. It was a good play. I enjoyed it. It was specifically a play based on that, like, famous chess event that, I don't know, do people still know about this? Of, oh god, what's his name? You know exactly who I mean if you know anything at all about chess, and I, like, barely do, and I still know about this guy. Ah, shoot, what's his name? Why is his name gone from my head? No, he was the guy who was a really good chess guy who, like, played against a computer, and it was a really big deal. Kasparov, that was it. Yes, thank you. When he did his big chess match against the computer, and it was a big deal. That guy. Anyways, Anya Taylor-Joy is Jack. Yes, exactly. The horsey moves in an L shape, and the queen is an overpowered MILF who can move anywhere she likes and take anything she wants. Samantha, I did see the Sarah Z video about chess. Which was all about a history of cheating at chess, which was Deep Blue. That was it. I was like, Big Blue? My brain was saying Big Blue, and I knew that that was wrong, but I couldn't remember what it was, because my brain just kept saying Big Blue. No, it was Kasparov versus Deep Blue, not Big Blue. I don't know what Big Blue is, but it's not a chess computer. Thank you. Anyways, I also have never seen the Queen's Gambit show. Because I think it's on a streaming service that I don't have. What was the Queen's Gambit? That was the show. And then they hilariously there is a board game that they made based on the Queen's Gambit that I saw for sale at, like, a bookshop. I don't know whether or not it's just a chess set or if it's a different game. Regardless, amazing. You love to see it. Rex says, I also don't understand the allure of esports. I don't enjoy playing most of the games that get esported. So my lack of interest is probably because I don't care about the games themselves. Yeah, I get that as well. Like, if it was... there is a YouTube video that I do recommend that is specifically about competitive farming sim. And that I found very entertaining. It was like how like you were competing for things like how fast can you, like, I don't know, make hay bales or something as a team. It was very... And people get really into it. They were doing like a farming sim team tournament thing. But it wasn't at, like, just an esports tournament. It was at, like, a farming equipment expo where they also had this thing, and some actual farmers were watching these, like... We're just watching these teams of, like, European boys, like, trying to do things in farming sim. Anyways. Oh, sweet! No, wait. Okay, sorry. I'm catching up with chat and I'm very confused. A board, yeah, Samantha says a board game based on the Queen's Gambit, so chess. Yeah, exactly. Chess players are creative, says Rex. Someone in the past few years got caught. Oh, yes. Cheating via remote controlled vibrational device in their pants being vibrated in Morse code, supposedly. Allegedly. I remember when that happened, or when, like, there was news about that, and it's just like, okay. Anyways, Jack says, I do understand the allure of esports on the premise that I don't like watching sports, I like playing sports, and the majority of people like watching sports, but not playing them. I like watching people play videos, and usually it's the games I don't enjoy playing. I do enjoy watching people play video games that I would not play, but not like, I don't know, not like in a sports setting, but more like in a, I'm going to play a video game and talk entertainingly about it kind of way. Which I feel like is a very different experience to having like an expert commentator talking about the things that they're doing exceedingly well. And I do like seeing some people play video games exceedingly well as well. You know, like I do get excited when someone breaks the speedrun record for Hollow Knight. Like that's I can't wait to see how quickly an absurd speedrun record is established for Silksong when it releases, which it's supposed to do this year. So, you know. Anywho, I think it's just a different form of entertainment to my preferred one, which is totally fine. I gave up chess in embarrassment as a teenager. After thinking the Roy Lopez opening was called the Royal Opez. Oh. I mean, I don't even know what that opening is, so I'll take your word for it. Jack says, I think it's interesting how esports is forcing new language around how we categorize competition, because sports has long relied on physical accomplishment, but competition is still the root of the subject, so that forces into question how we rank talent on physical capability alone. Very interesting. I enjoy Hollow Knight speedruns, says Stan, but they are over too fast. Anyone have a solution to this? Hi. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, I'm currently doing a run-through of Hollow Knight that was at its outset intended to be my attempt at a speedrun. I have fully abandoned this because it turns out that my attempt at a speedrun is slow as molasses. It's not any faster than a regular run, and it just means that by the end of it, I skipped a bunch of stuff and then got confused about why I hadn't already fought Brooding Moloch. Like, 90% of the way into the game. So... It's not a speed run, it's a slow stroll. And I think we're almost done it. I'm coming back to it tomorrow. But yeah, the solution to if you find that speedruns are over too quickly, just come watch my streams on Friday mornings, because woof. It's the opposite of that. Like, I did earnestly give it a go at the outset, and eventually was just like, okay, no, nope, this is not happening. I guess I just give up. Sometimes the solution is just give up. I guess, apparently. Okay, I'm just gonna steal some of this brown that's already hanging out on the palette. Actually, no, I'm gonna steal some of this blue and add it to the brown. Because otherwise it's just going to be in the way. And what the hey? Let's just make some colors. But I'm going to try and make brick color for this building, which is going to be interesting because of the unique way in which it's lit. Makes that really hard, actually. Okay. Alright, so what color are the bricks over here? That's kind of a brighter brown. It's kind of a brighter brown. I feel like I should do like the brighter brown areas and then kind of gradient into the darker browns. Maybe. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Because, like, this brown over here is kind of in shadow, so it's actually really dark. Compared with this brown that's, like, if you look at these two browns next to each other, like, damn. They look way different when you put them, when you zoom on in. So I'm gonna start with a reasonably well lit brown, I think, and then go from there. Okay, let's see how we do. What's it? Mara, thank you very much for the kiwi. I am now keeping very, very still because I don't.
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Mara, thank you very much for the fight milk. It's delicious as always. Blue raspberry, as you know, is my favorite flavor of fight milk. And quite right too. It's powerful and it helps you do fights. We actually got a lot of blue raspberry fight milk on our last Hollow Knight stream. That was really fun. I'm just picking up an absolute ton of the brown paint. But yeah, thank you, Mara, and I hope that you are having a wonderful Thursday. It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. Very much appreciated. Anywho, I should make some new stickers for stream.
No.
I haven't done that in what? Hello. Sledge, my darling, thank you very much for TTS, Nicole.
No.
Sledge, my darling, thank you very much for 2 TTS Nicoles. We've got twins. And twins. Thank you for that. Anyways, if anyone isn't familiar, the lady who does the TTS readouts for us is a wombat. She's from Australia, and her name is Nicole, and she looks like this. Here she is reading out your messages. I wish I could remember the combination of letters that I used to actually get her to say that, because I don't. But thank you very much for that, Sledge. Or shall I say... I'm just gonna work. Samantha, this is now a TTS Nicole stream. If I had any confidence in my ability to do any Australian accent, which I don't.
Oh no.
Mara, thank you very much for the Nicole.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Thank you, Mira. Oh no, indeed. Anyways, I have had Australian folks say that they don't say "oh no," and it's true. Some don't, but it depends on what bit of Australia you're from, probably.
Oh no.
Because some do. Thank you, Tals. Thank you very much for the TTS Nicole. We love her. She's a very special lady. And you know, considering that she's a wombat, I think it's very impressive that she's as literate as she is. So, yeah, she should feel very proud of that. Anywho. Okay, I'm gonna start with, like, this kind of section here, I think. And just start painting it in. This is actually a little bit more translucent than I was hoping for. Oh, never mind! We have an affirmation to do. Okay. I shouldn't have started doing this yet. Oh no. We have an affirmation. I would very much love to affirm for you. So I'm just gonna pause this for just a second and hope that I can come back to it nice and I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I'm gonna take a sip of my second tea because obviously I have 2 beverages at a time at least. This is strawberry lemonade tea. Fruitsome. Thank you, Pickles. Let's select an affirmation, shall we? I do believe we shall. Okay. I'm going to try and get one of my affirmation decks out of the thing. And I think we're gonna do out of the spooky deck. Wait, am I getting a bonk? Why am I getting a bonk? I don't know what I did that was bonkable, but you know what? I'll accept it. Anyways, thank you. We have an affirmation to affirm, so let me see if I can find us a card. We got a bonk. Oh, beans. I'm so sorry that you got a bonk. I did not mean to bonk. And I apologize for that. There's not there's not actually a lot of space for me to like maneuver my hands in this setup because my camera's right here and then my mic is right here. So there's a fairly small area for me to mess with. So it happens. I'm sorry. But I have an affirmation as requested by Pickles, so let's see what kind words we have for ourselves today. Hopefully this is one we haven't seen before. Aww. Keep love through eternity. Which is, okay, so A, focus, please. A, adorable. But B, 100%. Like, whatever sort of love that is, whether it's like, you know, a partnership, or your friends, or family, or found family, or even just like an abstract love. Even just like an abstract love, like a love in terms of just like, oh man, there was a guy that I crossed paths with the other day who just had a t-shirt that just said something like, I fucking love humanity. And I was like, that, you know what? Hell yeah. Like, maybe not always on a wholly individual level, but like in an abstract sense, just like a general sort of like love for the world is great. And that's something that you should work to try and hold on to, because I think that like positive change comes from that, you know, and self-love as well, obviously, which isn't always the easiest one to maintain, but is also really important and deserved. So all of the love is good. So keep on loving, friends. There you have it. And I'm gonna put that back in the deck. And also, if you're a vampire, that is super cool of you and very sexy. Anyways, and I love you all, and I thank you for continuing to hang out with me for some reason. I really appreciate it. It's nice. Okay, we have had an affirmation. I hope that helps. I hope that that's a useful thing to sort of meditate on and take forward into your day. I don't know if that was a weird way to put it. Anyways, hopefully, you know, now that I'm into like the main colory bit of this, I'm so scared. I am properly nervous about this segment of it. Partially because I feel like this is the bit of the painting that could really make or break it, you know? So I've been kind of thinking that like doing the sort of smaller sort of secondary colors are probably best to do before like the big swath of like brickwork. But also this feels like make or break segment in terms of whether or not I do it well. Pickles has gotta love Sammy. Oh, no you. No you. I love you. I love all of you, chat. I love you too, Twitch user Sledge Callier. He says, meh, they're alright again. They're alright! Well, you know what, Twitch user Sledge Callier? I still love you. I love you with my whole heart. That's my moderator / spouse right there, and I love him very, very much indeed. So there. Okay, so it does get darker toward the top of this, but I am nevertheless I'm gonna start by painting it all in this color, and then I think I'm gonna gradient down with like a darker brown in like a second layer toward the top bit of it to get that effect. Because I think if I try and do that sort of all in one like fell swoop, it's gonna get all bad. I think that's gonna not work for me. So I think it's better, I think, to do it this way. I hope, anyways. I hope it's better to do it this way. Because now that I've done this bit, I'm having second thoughts. But no, I think we'll be okay in that respect. I reckon. I think we'll be okay in that respect. Now, is this color more or less the same as this color, do I think? I think they mostly are, yes. I think they mostly are. Okay. So that's, and then this I think is also, and then also it gets a little bit darker towards the top. Okay. All right. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out how best to do this. What the heck color is, there's a little like ledge bit at the very top of this sort of towery section. I think it's also just kind of a dark brown. It's like there's like a, you can kind of see there's like a stripe of like a lighter brown and then like a little bit of a darker brown just above it. But it's that brown is a little bit lighter than this. So, okay. This is hard. This is hard, but for some reason on this painting in particular, I've decided to really pay attention to sort of the color theory of it all. Like more so than I often would. This isn't even the first time I've painted like a blue hour. I've done blue hours before. I'm just getting real silly about this one. But I'm having a good time. I hope that you are too. I'm not going to paint in all of the individual brick texture because I think that's too silly. That's too silly even for me. I do like a bit of texture sometimes. I think when I did the Baba Yaga station, did I get some bricky texture into that building? That was, for anyone who doesn't remember, for older viewers might remember that we did a painting that I actually kind of want to go back at some point and do like just like the vanilla version of that station. Because I had this insane and incredibly stupid vision in my head of what if like subway / underground / metro station, but but it's like Baba Yaga's hut. So it's on like chicken legs. And I had recently been to Toronto and I was mildly obsessed with this one entrance to, I think it's Spadina Station on the Toronto subway. Let me find a picture of the painting I'm talking about so you can see what the hell I'm on about. So I've definitely posted it, so let me see if I can find it. Anyways, but this station is, I just think the design of it is so cool because it literally used to be, the building used to be someone's residence. Like it was just a guy's house. But I think it was a listed building, the house was. So they wanted to have an entrance to the subway basically on this site. And instead of, building a new like purpose-built subway entrance building, they just built it into this house that was already there. There is now a flat above the station that is a flat that you can just live in, which I think is wild. But anyways, this is what the station looks like, except in real life it's not on chicken legs in real life. But it'd be real fun if it was. I'm just saying. But okay, let me attempt to pull it up. There we go. Okay. All right. It looks like this. And this is actually a station that I just generally really like. I think the tile work in this station in Toronto is really nice. There are some very like meh subway stations in Toronto, and there are some really nice subway stations in Toronto. And this is one that I just happened to get a real kick out of. So I made it into a Baba Yaga situation, like an absolute weirdo. But I couldn't remember if I'd done any like texture on this, and then looking at it now, I did the brickwork around sort of the little like archways above the windows and the like side door, which I'm pretty sure is the entrance to like the flat upstairs. But if you go in the main entrance, it takes you down to the subway, which just feels really weird. Anyways, yeah, that's Baba Yaga Station. Anywho, hopefully that worked. Is that your dream flat in the tube station, says Rex? Honestly, like my heart says yes, but my head says no, because I feel like it would be very noisy, and I don't know if it's the nicest apartment. But like for the sheer convenience of it, oh my god, yes. When I first moved to the United Kingdom, I lived in Manchester for about a year. And when I was living in Manchester, I was in this like perfectly positioned flat. It was far enough away from the city center that it wasn't mega expensive, which was great because I was struggling very hard to find any like paying work as a person who had just moved to the country. But it had the incredible benefit of being literally, I step out the front door of like my building, I cross the street, and I am on a tram platform. It was incredible. And so it just made it so easy to do things. Like I would, if I went 2 tram stops that way, I was at a big supermarket. If I went that way for like, I don't know, maybe like 20-30 minutes, I was in the center of town. It was so convenient. It was so convenient, yet far enough away from everything that it was just like chill. Not the most salubrious neighborhood, probably. Like the bit I was in was okay, but I kept getting warnings from people about like, oh, don't go to this neighborhood that's kind of near yours, and I was like, oh, whatever. People have a tendency to exaggerate about these kinds of things, in my experience. And I never, apart from the one time that someone stole my phone, I never felt particularly unsafe. That was terrifying and traumatized me for many years, but you know, apart from that, it was fine. And that could have happened literally anywhere, so but in terms of location, it was genuinely, that was so nice. Just literally, you step outside and boop, you're on a tram platform. But it was also within easy walking distance of like a number of places. Like if you're familiar with Manchester at all, it was like right near Salford Quays. So that was mega convenient for this little creature. I would just go like, I didn't have Wi-Fi in my house because I was unemployed, so instead I would just go to like the coffee shop. I would just go to like the Cafe Nero or whatever it was on the ground floor of like the BBC Studios building and just sponge off their free Wi-Fi for like 4 hours, nursing a single like small latte. And sending off job applications. It was great. From that respect, not so much in terms of the fact that I didn't get very many jobs, but you know, apart from that, it was delightful. I mean, it was delightful enough that I think I spent enough time there that like the manager of the cafe was like, I was enough of a regular that he was just really nice to me. He was like, hi, do you want to try this cake? We have a new cake on the menu. I think you'd like it. And he just gave me like free cakes and stuff. I was like, oh man, I must seem like pathetically unemployed to this man that he's just giving me free cake. Thank you. What a lovely fellow. But he was genuinely lovely person. I think, oh, what was his name? I don't remember. Anyways. One of the downsides to Toronto, says Jack, is that you can drive for 3 hours in Toronto and still be in Toronto. It's true. It's a big, sprawly situation. I miss living there a lot, but then again, it's not the same city it was when I lived there a few years ago. Yeah, I can relate to that. Absolutely. I used to live on paper right outside, right beside Greektown. Oh, sweet. I never actually lived in Toronto. I just visited a lot because I lived near-ish. But I am familiar with the Greektown. And I do love this. At some point, it is a wonderful place to visit, says Jack. I completely agree. It is a wonderful place to visit. As a public transit enjoyer, you may have guessed I'm a bit of a public transit enjoyer, chat. I have a video in mind that I have wanted to do for years now, and every time I go to Toronto, I gather a little bit more B-roll for it, specifically on the use of font in the Toronto subway system, because I have thoughts and feelings, and I want to try and dig deep and peel back the layers of the Toronto subway font situation, because it's cool, and I am a nerd, and I don't know, I really need to just go through my footage and see if I just take all of my B-roll back to back, how many minutes of footage do I have, because it feels like I probably have like 2 hours of footage, and it's probably like 3 minutes. Is it Comic Sans, says Rex? No, it is not. What it is, it's actually, okay, confusing. Ooh, 15-minute walk from Riverdale Park. Perfect for sunsets. Oh, gorgeous. Love that. Absolutely love that. Your brain is so very fascinating, says Jack. What? Oh, beans. I mean, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I don't want to get too into detail because, I mean, I'm still on my research journey with this whole thing, but, there was a font that was designed... Thank you, genuinely, thank you. There was a font that was designed in-house, bespoke for the Toronto subway system back in, like, I want to say the 30s, but don't quote me on that. And then a few decades, like, it's gorgeous. It's beautifully stylized. And then a few decades later, they did a lot of, like, expansion and overhaul, of stations in need of doing, and also expansion to, like, new, like, extensions of the network. And the font game became very inconsistent. So now there's, like, 3 fonts in use depending on where you are on the line. It's a lot. I really want to try and just dig into the story of it, because it's really interesting. But also, I just think that original font is really gorgeous. But also, I think the, like, original, like, draft of that font had been lost. And so someone a few years ago took it upon themselves to, like, recreate it effectively. And that's how they've been able to reincorporate it into, sort of newer signage and iconography of the system, which is really cool. And I'm glad they did that because it is very, very pretty. It's one of my favorite fonts. Anyways, I love a good font, though. And a good, like, public transit related font that is, you know, recognizably the font of that place, I think is really, really cool. You know, like, the New York subway subway system is very heavily associated with Helvetica, right? The London system, it's Johnston. And then the, like, motorway system in the UK has a gorgeous font as well. I think it's called Transit. And I can tell you right now, it was designed by a woman named Margaret Calvert, who is one of the coolest people ever to exist. because I love because I love that font. It was very important. Like I've seen an interview with her where she talked about like the things that they had to consider when designing that font. But also, one of the other things, she also designed like a bunch of other like very important road signage, including the like, you know, workers are working on the road sign, which is colloquially known as the men opening umbrellas ahead sign. It's supposed to be someone like digging something up on the road, but it sure looks like it's someone opening an umbrella. It's so good. It's the best. I love it with my whole heart. Amazing. Just an absolute delight. Anyways, so yes, special thanks to Margaret Calvert for giving us the road motorway signs font, and also the men opening umbrellas ahead sign. I'm sorry, this has gotten so nerdy. I'm gonna try and rein it in a little bit. I'm so sorry. Anyways, okay, I have slightly amended the color in order to do this sort of round bit, which I'm realizing now looking at the original, I did slightly goof on the shape of the windows, but we're just gonna go with it. This isn't an exact scientific, like, this isn't an architectural drawing, this isn't a scientific reproduction. This is pure vibes. And that's okay. I mean, this is pure vibes with heavy reference. Still, anyways. If the perspective is a little bit wonky, that's okay. If the colors are mildly inaccurate, that's okay. If I goofed on some of the shapes, that's absolutely fine. We can assume that perhaps this is set in a different era when maybe it's gone under some renovations and things have been ever so slightly changed. That's possible. This could be set in an alternate universe where, I don't know, maybe things are slightly better. Love that for them. These little guys are certainly having a nice time. I think they are a little bit nervous. This is this guy's first time in London, and he's off to visit this guy's parents for the first time. And I think that's a little bit scary. And you don't quite know what to expect. And you hope that it's not going to escalate into a fight. But you never know. You never know how these things are going to go. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways. Okay. I'm actually just going to go right up to where the windows start. And I feel real silly that that I just fully forgot that there was actually sort of a layer of brick above the window frames as well. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Anyways. And there we have it. That bit. Jack says, I'm not so much worried about the parents not liking me as I am me not liking the parents. That is very fair. That is very fair. I have to say that I was so nervous meeting my my in-laws for the first time. Not because I knew that they were going to be lovely people, but I already loved my moderator / spouse so much, so I was so scared that they weren't going to like me, or they were going to think that I was weird or whatever. And I mean, they probably do think that I'm weird because I am weird, but they're lovely, and I love them and they love me, and they're always really thoughtful about making sure that they have foods I can eat when we go visit, and they're wonderful people, and I'm very grateful that they're a part of our lives. Anyways, I'm getting all sentimental now. We visited them last week. It was really nice. They made us a roast dinner, and we did some fun activities. It was delightful. They sound like a delightful pair. They really are. They're wonderful people. Anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to dox members of my family. But yeah, they're lovely people. I feel very blessed to have good people in my life. anyways, I'm trying to have a look at this little sort of like ledge bit up top here. It's kind of interesting. So there's kind of a shadowy bit underneath it. I think is a little darker than this down here. So I'm taking a little bit of the darkest brown and adding it to this darker brown that we've got here. I'm just gonna lay like just a line of it. This is getting very to the point that like, do I need to switch to a smaller brush? And I might do soon, honestly. Okay. All right. We have a line. Anyways. Jack says, do you want to see the whip I'm working on? Have you Discorded it? Here's a link to the Discord for anyone who's not in the Discord and would like to join the Discord. We have a whips channel. And you are very welcome to be in there. Ah, sweet. Okay. I cannot open Discord normally on the computer while I'm streaming because I maintain a very minimalist stream setup. Just because otherwise it tends to break a bit. It tends to break the computer a little bit. But I can pull up Discord on my phone. And you can see the shame of the number of Discord channels I'm in that I never post in because I get overwhelmed. But, oh, beans. Oh, that's really cute. Oh, that is so stinking cute. Oh, I love them. Oh, I love them. That's, oh, bless. Okay. Okay, we don't normally do a ton of art shares on stream, but y'all, this is very cute. This is very cute. Thank you for sharing. I couldn't enthuse about how cute it was without sharing it, so I did this time. Anyways, the dodo is very special to me as an Oxford resident. We are dodo enjoyers here. I was going to say I miss them, but that makes it sound like I've encountered one in the wild, and again, I'm making it sound like I'm a really super old immortal being, which I'm still not. I've lived through, like, the mid-80s to the present, and that's it. And not the 1880s. The 1980s. Just so we're all on the same page. Like, as much as I have, like, sun sensitivity and low iron levels, I am not a vampire. Even though, like, my canine's teeth are pretty pointy. The 1780s check. No, chat. Ugh. You know, here's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, you know, I have such an interest in history. It would be super cool to have lived in a different era like that. And then I'm like, the 80s, as in like the year 80. No. 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 How can you confirm that you aren't an immortal being that just doesn't remember, says Jack. Well, I can remember being, like, a very, very small, ickle baby, and it was definitely based on, like, the brownness of the decor of, like, my aunt's house. My first childhood memory is my mother expressing something to do with being 30 years old. So I would have been, like, an infant, and she was speaking to someone in a kitchen that was incredibly brown. False memories from vampiric mind melding. Y'all are gonna make me have a crisis because I'm gonna start questioning whether or not any of my memories are real. And I don't think that's safe. Brown isn't made with bronze tools, says Rex. Oh no. Oh no. Is the reason that I love that Aya Nazir meme so much because I can remember the, like, poor quality of that copper merchant's, like, merchandise? Because that is my favorite meme. Chris Chibnall writing Doctor Who, is that you? Says Samantha. Jack says, no, this is Patrick. Sorry for the shaky cam. Ugh, y'all broke my lungs' ability to lung for a second there. Anyways. Yeah, please don't kill me. I have so much left to give. It might not be very good, but it's mine and I'm trying my best, okay? Anyways. What was I saying? Let's pop in this bit, which is, ooh, that's a dark brown that we've got going there. So I think I need to darken this brown with some dark brown. Or what is it? Gurocha, which is black tea. Hooray. How's that? It still wants to have some of the warmth of the roasted tea color, but darker. So I think this'll do. I think this'll do. Just this wall. Oh no, that's too much paint. Whoa, that's a big glob. Sorry about that. Anyways, so, sorry. Okay. Okay. We have, well, this paint is so pretty. I love this paint. I think it's delightful. I'm gonna try and just these are just one color again. I've just united them. I don't know. I'm zooming in on this photo a lot to try and see what's happening here. Okay. Okay, so there are bits of the wall that look to be actually made out of, like, a different material. But then there are bits that are just really, really lit. It's hard to tell what's what. I think most of this is just really, really lit, but this side is not really, really lit, so I can, So from here to about here can just be kind of this brown. So it's a little bit lighter than this side, than that side that's really not seeing any illumination at all. And then we've got a happy little window here. Okay. Man, this is looking so jank. The latest attempt to confirm the coupe was last year. Ah, okay, sorry, I missed a big message. I recently read a thing that in 1954, 6 bronze jars were found in a shrine that are now 2,600 years old and contained a goop. After several attempts to confirm the goop one was finally successful. It's honey, but it's been hard because it's now believed it was honeycomb that was broken down into honey because traces of other aminos in royal jelly. There's still no signs of microorganisms, and in theory it would still be safe to eat, but no one has tried. The latest attempt to confirm the goop was last year. I mean, you know, the temptation to want to, like, try the forbidden honey must be so great. But, you know, I don't think it's worth trying the forbidden honey. Like, what if it was cursed? What if it's cursed by a ghost? You don't know. Do you want to take that risk? Do you want to take that risk? And try the goop and have it turn out that it's so this is the brickwork here, supposedly. That's what is that? What is that? That's so different. I'm gonna take some of this brown, I'm gonna put it over here, and then I'm gonna add a bunch of my sort of ochre yellow color to it, because apparently that's the deal. But yeah, if there's a mysterious goop in a jar that's thousands of years old, I think, now I'm not an expert on any of these histories. This is not the type of history, nor like the period of my general area of study. But I would recommend that you gotta don't do that. You gotta don't ingest the mystery history goop, I think. As tempting as it might be. Wasn't there, like, at some point, wasn't there, like, a sarcophagus or something that they opened from, like, thousands and thousands of years ago? And it contained, there was, like, a liquid in it, and people were like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I drank it. And the answer is you'd probably get really, really sick, and it's a terrible idea. But people are like, what would happen? But what if I did it? And it's like, no, don't do that. There was a whole thing about it. They were in a shrine to the goddess of youth, says Rex. The Greeks worshipped honey as a superfood and believed that it could be blessed by said goddess to make it capable of providing eternal life. Well, I mean, it certainly makes this life delicious when served on, say, like a stack of Hungarian crepes. Oh man, I should try making those again at some point. I'm not gonna wax on about the fact that I lost the ability to digest wheat without symptoms. But I have yet to master a good gluten-free recipe for palacinta, which is a Hungarian crepe recipe. And that makes me feel really sad because they're heckin' delicious. In my experience, says Samantha, mystery goop will either give you superpowers or else consume your flesh and become an evil duplicate of you. Okay. Well, I'm not sure I want to take that risk. I mean, but also, you don't, like, it's also very possible. Let's forget, it's also very possible that the mystery goop may well be, like, a member of a sentient alien race, if Star Trek Deep Space Nine has taught me anything. Like, what if the goop is a guy? Like, what if the, like, gender neutral? What if the goop is just a like, potentially a friend who doesn't know how to make a person shape out of themselves yet? You don't want to you don't want to ingest that. That'd be weird. Anyways, I'm sorry to loop things back to TV's Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I'm just having a moment with that show, apparently, in as much as I did draw this earlier. You can't tell what they're supposed to be dressed up as because I haven't put the stripes on their jumpers yet, but they're eventually going to be dressed as Ernie and Bert. Because I'm normal like that. In that case, you make the goop your head of security, says Samantha. Yes, exactly. And the goop is an adorable friend who goes, and is one of my favorites. Anyways, anywho, okay. Alright, okay. Alright and okay. Just very carefully filling in this bit, because I don't want to accidentally paint over my little buddies here. Oh, this is terrifying. Oh, this is genuinely terrifying. Okay. Okay, I did it. I didn't break them. Yay. That's what I get for putting people in that are like this little. Are they wildly out of proportion? Do they have heads the size of, like, Funko Pops? Yes, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I think... Oh. And then the goop goes on to have a passive-aggressive romance with the local, quote, legitimate businessman. Yep, exactly, Samantha. And you know what? We're happy for the goop. We are. Anyways, I am also a big fan of the businessman. I think he's delightful and honestly one of the best dang characters on TV ever. I think I remember hearing about the wine thing, says Rex. A lot of people tried to buy it. I don't know if anyone ever did. I hope that they didn't. But then on the other hand, I was hearing yesterday that there's like a brand of soap that did a promo thing with an actress who's popular, who I don't think I've seen anything that she's in, but that like they made soap out of like her bath water, and I'm like, who would buy that? That's so gross. That's so creepy. why would you do that? Like why would you do that? That's just making me not ever want to buy soap from you, soap company, because that's creepy. That's soap for like weird perverts. Why would you want to put your name to a soap that's for like, just no. You know? Not to shame like weird perverts in general, but just specifically the ones that would buy soap made out of a celebrity's bathwater. It's like a fragrance derived from her bathwater or something. That's just weird. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? You know, I'm using some soap at the moment that smells like fruits. It smells like a berry medley to me. I find it very pleasant. That's nice. I recommend that. Anywho, we are coasting into another break, but I'm very happy to say we've actually painted some of this painting today, which is fantastic, and we'll come back and do some more after the break. But I also wish to apologize that we got onto this subject, because good lord. Anywho, I made a YouTube video about soap, by the way. My soap was nice and normal. Here's a link to my channel, which I suggest you subscribe to because it's cool and it's free to do that. We're gonna BRB, because I have to do that now. Jack says, this soap smells like the collective substance of the stuff you're supposed to wash off. Yeah, why would you want that? Okay, it's time for a BRB. I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the BRB screen in the meantime. Have a drink, have a stretch, and I'll see you very shortly on the other side. BRB, everyone. Hola, friends, I'm back. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around if you have. I very much appreciate it. Rex says, I had an ad for some supplement during the ad break, and I've never seen so many stock videos of various small drops falling from various manufactured and natural objects. Oh, goodness gracious. Welp. Supplement ads are weird. Supplement ads are real weird. I have a lot of thoughts about supplement ads, partially because I was getting just like rafts of them on Instagram for a while there. I don't really visit Instagram as often anymore. I check Instagram like once a week now, if I remember to do it. That's partially why I never post on Instagram. Because I'm just like, I have to set aside like an hour of my day if I'm gonna post on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that right now. So I just haven't been posting as much as I should be, which is probably bad for, you know, like my brand and blah blah blah. Cause anyways. But yeah, supplement ads are so weird. We've been getting one on YouTube that is like it's like a supplement for men, and it's effectively, it sounds like it's basically, to be honest, it's probably just a multivitamin. They don't tell you what's in it. They just tell you that it like balances your T levels. And I'm like, oh, so this is just gender affirming care for cis men is what it is. But it's probably just like a vitamin supplement, let's be real. But they have to, in order to market it to like insecure men, they have to couch it in terms of like, it will make you more manly by giving you more of a hormone, which is, I don't know, I find fun. But anyways, oh, actually, similarly, I've also been getting ads for this, like, it's one of those, like, it's like just for men type shampoo, where like it's a color depositing shampoo, so it like colors your hair darker to help cover your gray hairs while you shampoo it. But instead of just being like, hey, this shampoo covers your gray hairs just by washing it, isn't that cool? If you don't want to be visibly gray, which, you know, like some people don't, there are means to change this. But because it's specifically marketed to men, they can't just be like, okay, you know, like shampoo brand, color depositing shampoo for covering grays. They have to call it Gray Attack. Fight against your grays. Like, literally, it's called Gray Attack shampoo. Which is just so funny. Like, everything has to be so violent. Like, why? It's shampoo that covers your gray hair, probably because you're a bit vain. Which, again, is fine. Lots of people dye their hair. I've dyed my hair many times. I haven't dyed my hair in a few years, but I had pretty much consistently dyed hair for a very, very long time. But just the way it's couched in these sort of like violent terms is so funny to me. The only thing more toxic than toxic masculinity, says Rex, is the supplements sold to make them more masculine. Yeah, Joe says, I just have music. What, in the ad break? I mean, if all you got in the ad break was music, then congratulations on not seeing any ads. I love that for you. I by no means am invested in people on my stream having to see an ad break. It's just like one of the necessary evils of being allowed to use a service like Twitch for free, is that the trade-off is that we get ads, but in terms of like, I don't get masses of revenue from you seeing ads on my stream. So if you don't see any, I'm happy for you. Like, you know, like, oh, it spared me a penny, but like literally a penny. But still, I subbed, so no ads. Well, there you go. That's nice, sir. I love that for you. Jack says it's infuriating. As a trans man, to know the amount of healthy cis men taking testosterone to bump their levels when Ontario is on year 3 of an annual testosterone But there's a national shortage, and there's cis men who don't need it trying to supplement with testosterone. Why are they so stupid? Why are they so stupid? Why are they so I hate it here. I hate it here. It's like, you don't need that. You don't. Many celebrities too, says Jack. Yeah, it's like, your masculinity be so fragile, you gotta throw your hormones out of whack for it. Like, why? Like, why? You know? Like, I personally, I would rather produce slightly less of it if I could siphon off the slightly elevated levels of testosterone in my blood, because there's more in it than I need. I would gladly donate that to, like, I would just be like, here, my blood makes a little bit too much of this, and just donate it to, like, a trans guy friend. If that's how these things worked, I would surely do it. Oh, but yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid, and they don't understand how these things work, because, like, you don't. Joe says, oh, these cis men and their gender affirming. Like, that's the thing, is, like, the number of things that, like, cis people do that they don't realize is also gender affirming care. You know? Like, literally is wild to me. Anyways, I like 50 cents a month from ads. Yeah, the ad rates are very small, actually. But, yes. Rex says, as a cis man that is secure in my slightly more effeminate nature, I don't understand male supplement ads. They're so excessively aggressive overnight. Truly, excessively aggressive. Like, it's so weird. Like, the one that we get for, like, male hormone supplement, which I'm pretty sure, as I say, is just going to be, like a vitamin, that does nothing. It's, you don't need that. Mira says, as a trans woman, I get frustrated hearing low T USA ads on the radio all the time. What the flip? It's like, it's become so mainstream to do HRT for cis people, but it's still so shunned to be trans. Like, that's the thing. Most cis people don't need HRT. Like, notwithstanding, like, possibly, like, menopause, like, you don't need to do that, you know, like, for gender affirmation reasons. But, like, trans people, it should, like, just leave it for them, because they actually need it. It's actually helpful for them. It does nothing for you. Why would you do, like, what? People confuse me. Anyways, It'd be so cute, albeit macabre, to imagine a future in which if you have a hormone donor BFF, you have a monthly bonding activity getting hooked up for transfusions together. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, my levels are still a little bit elevated here, have some. That would be real creepy, but you know. I want to donate all my hormones, says Joe. Too much trouble. I want 0 hormones. I hate to break it to you, Joe, but you actually need hormones in order for your body to function properly, unfortunately. Like, I think you would just, if you had no hormones whatsoever, I think, like, I don't know. You'd probably lose all of your hair and cease to be able to sleep, and like some of your organs would stop functioning. Your brain would have a lot of troubles. You know, they kind of do a lot. I feel like it's a bad idea. Like, admittedly, you know, it's real annoying when they get out of whack. I would love my hormones to be a little bit more in whack than they are. Like, generally my hormones, I think, as far as I'm aware, are pretty okay. Like, I'm doing all right. I'm good. I'm good here. I'm good out here. But, you know, you do actually, unfortunately, need them. Yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing. You wouldn't experience hunger. Things would not grow. Not dying generally, says Casa. Exactly, Casa understands. Like, you do actually need hormones. I don't know how else to explain it to you, Joe, because I'm not a scientist I'm not a, what is it? An endocrinologist, is that it? But you do actually need them to live, to have things like energy and some semblance of general overall health and all of the important things that you need in the correct amounts. You do need hormones. I'm very sorry. I do think what we need is a hormone swap shop, says Samantha. Just go in, find someone producing the hormones you want, who needs the hormones your body produces that you would rather do without. Just a little swap. Yeah, exactly. I think within the parameters of ensuring via a medical professional that you're not giving yourself a deficiency in so doing that would be harmful to you. Like, for instance, I don't know, like your thyroid would just stop working, and you don't, you know, like, if you, it's bad if your thyroid stops working, for instance. You need to have one of those. If it's not working to the correct amount that it should be, you have to take medication to make it do that. Likewise, you know, if your hormones are doing the wrong thing and it's working too hard, then you have to take a medication to make it work less hard. So yeah, please, just, I don't know, be safe, everyone. Please be safe. I'm actually illustrating a poster for a doc of the endocrine system. Hey, Jack, that's rad as heck. The endocrine system is neat. You need one of those. If we didn't have hormones, we would be a body full of all the materials and none of the direction to do them. Yeah, you'd just be a bag of mostly water that didn't know what to do. And I mean, I am a bag of mostly water that doesn't know what to do most of the time, but at the very least, my body tells me when I'm hungry and when it's time to go to sleep, and like my hair and fingernails grow as needed. You know, I have matured from a baby into an adult. I experience like feelings like stress and happiness and sleepiness, and what are other emotions? Stress, happy, sleepy, horniness sometimes, that's an emotion, etc., etc. I experience normal people emotions, I think. But yes, anyways, yeah, we need hormones in order to live is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, being a human is miraculous and exhausting, says Jack. I hope I'm a shrimp next. Shrimp would be fun. Sleepy, dopey, other dwarf names. Oh yeah, bashful, that's an emotion. Doc is an emotion. Stress, happy, sleepy, horny, the 4 quadrants of the human mind, says Rex. Exactly. sneezy. Yep, I get that one sometimes, but not so much anymore. My seasonal allergies seem to have kind of abated a bit. I had really bad seasonal allergy stuff a few years ago, but it's not as bad as anymore. Thank you very much for the... Oh, speaking of shrimp, thank you for the posture check, Joe. As always, I am hunched over my desk. Sammy, you are not shrimp yet. Indeed, indeed. I am human, and I have... my back muscles are very upsetty spaghetti, so I'm doing a little stretch. And thank you for the hydrate as well, Joe. I appreciate it. Delicious. I love watching my shrimps just exist, says Rex. That sounds really nice. That sounds really nice. Also, yes, I am sure that everyone here understands how hormones work. I just like talking about this stuff, so I let us go on a tangent. I'm sorry. Also, as Jack says, it's difficult to resist sharing medical info when it comes up. The sharing of knowledge feels so good. Feels so good. I dislike shrimp, so no shrimping, says Sledge. Jack says, you don't have to eat me in my next life then. Good, good. Let's not cannibalize each other, please, and thank you. Anyways, oh goodness, Joe's allergic to shrimps. Okay. Well, the bad news is I'm not allergic to shrimps, and I think they're kind of... I think they can be pretty... I've been known to enjoy a shrimp situation. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm having salad for dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be nice. Doing like a Japanese style miso and ginger dressing. Got some greens, got some poached salmon, some other veggies to go in it. I think it'll be nice. Anyways, got some little gem lettuce, which I love. Okay, this is an interesting color because this is like a gray concrete-y doodad here, but it's not. What color is it? Let's find out. Let's zoom on in. What do we get? What is it? Oh, would you look at that? It's like yellow. I love this. This is so much fun. This is so much fun. Okay, I'm just gonna use this ochre color. What's the name of this ochre color? Okay, it's this color. I love this set. This set is gorgeous. All right. Kin Odo Iro, which almost sounds like Odo, which is the character from Star Trek Deep Space Nine we were talking about earlier. I'm sorry. We're back. Oh my god, we're back again. It just keeps happening. I'm so sorry. Okay. This looks genuinely insane right now. This looks genuinely insane. Jackson, I'm making Asian stir fry for dinner tonight. What a coinky dink. Ooh, nice. I'm having a kind of stir fry situation tomorrow, actually. I was gonna do, how should I say, like a, like it's not quite vegetable fried rice, because it's hopefully more vegetables than rice, so it's like rice fried vegetables is what I'm cooking tomorrow, because I've got a ton of vegetables that need using up. I've got some gorgeous yellow courgettes, which I'm very pumped about, and interesting. Sorry, I'm like zooming in on this, trying to figure out what all the colors are supposed to look like. But I've got this gorgeous yellow courgette that needs using up. And then I've also got a bit of broccoli and some, something else. What was it? Come on, brain. Some peppers, I think. I have some green beans, but my moderator / spouse doesn't like green beans, so those are just for me. I had some today with some fried noodles for my lunch, and that was nice. Oh, weird. Okay, this color's, what is happening with this color? What is it? This color. This color is here. That is, wow, okay. That color is wacky. I'm going to need to get creative with how I make it. I'm going to bring in some purple, because actually this is quite a cool, this is a cooler brown than the others. Wacky. I really hope that this turns out looking not completely deranged. Joseph, sausages, chips, and beans because it's craving carbs. That's very valid of you. Very valid. Love that for you. And I ate a lot of rice recently. Nice. I love rice. I am not having rice tonight. I'm having salad. I'm looking forward to my salad. So that's a good. You know, I shouldn't have said the F word when we started stream because we are not getting this done today. We're gonna have to come back to it on Monday. But I think we have enough here that we can probably get it done on Monday if we at least finish just putting all of the colors in places today. That is more or less my goal at this point. It's just having the colors and putting them in places right now. Okay. Firstly, this little edge bit is just a little darker than that little strip underneath it. Then there's a tiny little sort of strip of shadow just on the bottom edge of it that I will add later. And likewise over here, just a little bit darker. Okay. I think there's just a little highlighty funky bit up top here. It gets a little bit lighter and then it gets darker again. Yay. This isn't complicated at all. Okay, I'm just experimenting a bit with this color because again, look. At least there isn't 500 books, says Rex. This is true. Well, listen, I am trying to let myself do different things besides just always with the bookshelfery, you know. I am allowed to do other stuff. And so, I'm gonna. And right now, that means I'm doing this. I feel like this color is a little bit light, but I like it, so, And then there's sort of a dark layer right across the top, but again, I think when we come back in and to do like the lines, that'll just be a line because there's such a tiny amount of it that it is basically just a line. And this side of the building needs doing as well, so I hope this looks fine and not weird. Oh, right, I needed to do like the gradienty bit of the towery section and sort of these bits as well, because this bit should be darker and this bit sort of fading down into the lighter color as we get to the bits where the windows are as well. Let me see. Oh, damn. Okay. This side of the building is quite dark by comparison. It's very shaded and it's very shadowy over there. So let me see if I can get sort of a good average for it. Ooh, it's rich. It's rich. Okay. So if I combine, actually, I'm going to take this blob of brown that we have here for anyone who doesn't know about like the bookshelf discourse. It's not discourse. It's, I don't know. Is it lore maybe? Maybe it's lore of stream. I have painted many a bookshelf on stream. There was one painting that I think took us like, oh god, it took so long to complete. It took so long to complete because, and I'm looking for it here. It's gotta be somewhere in my Instagram feed. It took us like a cumulative month to complete this because it looks like this. 1 second, chat. let me just pull this up for your viewing pleasure. Hopefully pleasure. Looks like this. This took so freaking long. And I had an amazing time doing it. But it did take forever. And like basically as soon as I finished it, I started noticing things that I would do differently if I were to do it again. Which I guess is, you know, learning and growth, but still, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty fun. I think you get the idea. Would I do this again? Probably not for a real long old time, because again, like, damn. But hey, at least these little guys are having a nice time in this little bookshop. And I love that for them. So that was a thing that happened on stream like a year or two ago. I don't know. I'd call it lore because we support the journey of it. Yeah, okay, lore. It's not discourse, it's lore. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of the fact that that word exists, Rex. I appreciate it. Anyways, so yeah, that was some bookshelves we painted. I think that was more or less the start of the bookshelf thing here. Of it, like, being a thing. That is something that, like, hey, Sammy, what are you painting today? Oh, is it bookshelves? Yeah, that's why. That is why. Now you know. I'm adding some purple into this brown because we're getting into darker areas. And I think it will give it a nice slightly shadowy dimension. You know, like a nice way to tone down colors and to darken them is to add a bit of their complement, and this is close to that. So I dig it. Anyways, I'm sure I had more things to say today, and I've just they've fled my mind, as is fairly often the case. Because I have, as you know, I have one brain cell. Every once in a while I remember the fact that I did actually briefly go to a genius school when I was very small, believe it or not. But the truth is, I was faking it. I have a single brain cell. And it's very selective in when it chooses to deploy itself. Sometimes it's very good, and other times it's a very silly goose. Sometimes I'm a serious goose, but it doesn't happen very often. Mostly silly goose behavior. And that's okay. Anyways. I didn't stream Hollow Knight last week because I was away, so I don't remember where we are in the game. I feel like we're fairly close to having done most of that playthrough. So maybe we'll wrap it up. Maybe we'll wrap it up. Who knows? Anyways. Honk. Exclamation. I'm gonna exclamation mark honk in the chat. Because I feel like honking. Honk! I do remember why we have a honk command. I think it's because I was painting a goose that day. I was like, we need a honk command if I'm gonna paint a goose. Because I did paint a goose once. It was fun. Now that I've put this color down, I'm wondering about it. Because it doesn't quite feel like it... It does look a lot like the color that I just picked out of this, but because it's so much darker, it doesn't really totally look like it connects. So I'm kind of wondering if I just add a bit more of, like, the warmer brown. If we kind of just go over it. Not the whole thing. But some of it. with this warmer brown. To just rewarm some of it a smidge. And then we kind of blend it into this cooler, more shadowy brown color. Very much now in the fluff around and find out stage of doing the painting. Painting a goose is very risky because it might decide to attack you if the color it doesn't like the color you chose. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, actually, yeah. Okay, yeah, I feel like that works better. I feel like that works better. It's not perfect, but you know, it's like good enough. So I will allow it. But yes, I think we're doing all right. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's whatever we're doing in Hollow Knight stream. I think it'll be a fun time. I hope it'll be fun. All right. Final color for the day is the darker bit at the top of the tower, and it is really hard to see that that's a color on screen. But it is. It's just, oh man, that's a real dark brown. That's a real dark. I'm going to take this dark brown that I just made, and I'm going to kind of mix it together with the other browns that I already had on the palette here. And we're going to water it down a little bit. And I'm going to try, this is very scary. This is very scary. I'm going to try and just do like a glaze of this darker brown over our lighter brown. Such that it will kind of such that we can hopefully kind of get it to like gradient out as we move further down. I think this is working kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it's worked kind of, I think. It's definitely worked kind of. But that's better than it's worked not at all. So this side generally I think is a little bit even darker. This isn't quite as dark as it is in the original, but watercolors do tend to skew a little bit lighter, I think, in general, than real life, just because they're so transparent. Or at least mine do. Yeah, I think that's kind of worked. I think it looks neat. I do think it looks neat. I do think it looks neat. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. I think I just did something that hopefully looks kind of cool. Honk, says Joe. Thank you. Oh, we've got Eddie. Thank you very much for the lurk. We've got a terrible drawing time of a silly goose. Yay! The goose might also decide to attack you for no reason at all, says Rex. This is very true. Eddie has also redeemed a hydrate. Thank you so very much indeed. I think we've pretty much finished all of the painting we're going to do today, so the timing for that terrible drawing is perfect. I love it. Though, should I attempt to paint in the little guys as well? Because I haven't painted any of the little guys, so I'll do that also before we go. But first, it's a terrible drawing time. What do we think? What do we think? I think one thing, and the one thing that I think is that this wall now looks too light. So, I'm just going to pick up some of that base brown and just give it a little glaze. To kind of bring it back into sort of a cohesive value space. with the rest of it and hope that I haven't just massively effed this up. I don't think I have. I think this is fine. Yeah, that makes slightly more sense. Maybe just a little bit of maybe just a little bit of this bad boy. But not too much. Just a little glaze it. Okay, alright. I'm gonna stop futzing with this now. I'm gonna stop futzing and do the terrible drawing time because that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So I'm gonna do it. Okay. So we have a terrible drawing of a silly goose. For anyone who's come in since the last terrible drawing time that we did, this is a terrible thing that happens on stream, where I'm sorry I've been such an absolute mess today. I don't know why. So it goes. Terrible drawing time is a phenomenon that happens on this stream where for 5,000 channel points, I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on the terrible drawing canvas, which is this bad boy. This is the current one. I can show you the last one that we did, which is done. Ta-da! I don't remember what the context was. Someone just wanted to see a drawing of, like, myself and my moderator / spouse. So here's just a picture of the two of us being, I don't know, in love. Here's a depiction of some big boob anime girls because that was a request. I definitely remember all of my, you know, sort of anime drawing skills from when I was, like, 13. And... oh, here's a not wanted poster for Zote from Hollow Knight, which is accurate. So, silly goose time. Okay, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Thank you so much for the request. I will do my best to remember what the heck geese look like. Because I'm not allowed to look them up. And do I remember what anything like... my memory is not good. My visual memory is not the goodest. So, things... can get interesting here. Let's try. But this also, importantly, needs to be a silly goose. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to draw a goose's beak, which looks like... it's going to be one of those ones that has the little, like, bump on it, just because I happen to think that they're very cute. So this is the goose beak area. Am I making the... okay, hold up. I think I made this goose's head quite large. So so this is going to take up quite a lot of space on the canvas. Unintentionally. But, so it goes. Little ickle tail feathers there, of course. And a nice little wing go a doot doot like that. Then geese have little bird foots. Just happy little bird foots. These foots make no sense. That's fine. It's all good. Some little feathery doots. But this needs to be a silly goose. So I'm going to give the goose just a big honky clown nose on the end of their beak. Because that's an appropriate thing. And then also just like... I'm gonna give them a nice like clown wig as well. Because they're a silly goose. And this feels like a silly goose getup. This feels appropriate for a silly goose, I think. What else would a silly goose have going on? I don't know. I'm not silly enough. I'm going to... ooh, you know what the silly... okay, the silly goose is going to be wearing... the silly goose is going to be wearing... you're just gonna have to trust me that these are rainbow suspenders, because those are nice and silly. I don't know how these trousers are working, but the goose is wearing trousers, which is a very silly thing for a goose to do. A very silly thing indeed. There we go. Okay, the goose is wearing some trousers. They've got like rainbow suspendies, which is the best kind of suspendies, of course. The coolest and the best. And they're wearing some trousers. And frankly, they look absolutely beautiful. I think anyways, and I think you should agree with me because I'm right. Mr. Tom, hello, welcome in. I'm just drawing a silly goose because I've been asked to do a terrible drawing of a silly goose. So this is our silly goose. Do you like it? I hope you like this silly goose. I don't know what it was that you had in mind for a silly goose. But I hope that this is fine. They look very silly, says Mr. Tom. Thank you. I tried my best to think of silly things that a goose could have. And I feel like wearing trousers with rainbow suspendies is very silly behavior for a goose. But at least I more or less remembered what a goose looks like, I think, and I feel mildly proud of that. I have a few seconds left, so I'm going to do a little bit of shading. Because I can. I don't know if it adds anything to the piece, but what the hey. There we go. Yay! It's a silly goose. I guess that's it. So, Joe, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with your silly goose. This is what we did earlier, which is a house made entirely out of merchandise that you can buy in my shop. I don't think it's structurally sound, and I don't think it's a good idea. And probably, actually, it might be less expensive. I tend to keep my art prices pretty low, so it might be less expensive to just buy all of my art and use those as materials to build a house than it would be to buy a real house. But don't you do it. But here's a link to my shop anyways. I'm trying to get better at self-promoting. Okay. Going to attempt to paint in these teeny tiny little guys. This is the hardest part. This is the hardest part of the whole piece. Oh my god. Where's my tiniest paintbrush? Where's my teeny tiniest brush? Where's my tittle tiny baby brush? I'm trying to get it out of... I don't know. Okay. Teeny tiny baby brush. Teeny tiny baby brush. Epic, says Joe. Yay. I'm glad you approve. Okay. I've got my teeny tiny baby brush. My paint water is so brown because I've been painting nothing but brown today because it has been brickwork day on Park Royal Station. But I need colors that aren't that. So let me just fashion some skin tones. Oh my god, this is so... I need... Like, I'm gonna start needing... like... magnifying spectacles to do these teeny tiny little bits. Because they're so little. They're so little. I'm not getting too granular in terms of like blending like the perfect skin tone because it's so teeny tiny that as long as it's like, you know, in the range, like it'll be fine. So I'm just mixing together some brown and the other brown. And I'm like, you know what? That looks like a human. That looks like it could be adjacent to human flesh. Sure. I don't know. Is that how makeup companies do it? Probably. There we go. This guy's wearing a sleeveless top, which was a mistake because I feel like his skin tone kind of blends in with the wall. Oh no! Oh well, I'm gonna have to do teeny tiny line weight to differentiate it. Why have I done this to myself? Ah! Oh no! Humans come in lots of colors, says Joe. Yup, that's true. Do y'all remember there was like, I don't know how I ended up learning about this drama because I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup at all. But I used to attempt to wear makeup when I was like younger, like, you know, in my teens and stuff, and I gave up because it was not like there was never my skin tone, as you can see, is very, very light. There was never a makeup color that accurately matched my skin tone because I was too pale, and the lightest color would always be a couple shades darker than my actual flesh. But unsurprisingly, there are often issues at both of the like lightest and darkest ends of the like makeup color spectrum for actually finding a makeup that matches more or less the shade of your face. It's always going to be imperfect because, you know, like our skin is not one single uniform color, so just painting it in one single uniform color is never going to match the entire nuanced nature of human skin, but you can get pretty close to a lot of them. Anyways, my point is, there was this emerging makeup company that supposedly had like really, really good quality like makeup cover-up stuff, right? Except their range was not great at like the darker end of the scale, and they got feedback saying like, hey, you know, it'd be great if you sort of expanded your range to include like darker skin tones, because I think their darkest skin tone was probably something like this brown, which is not that, which is like, you know, that's like mid, right? That's not a dark skin tone. So they included some darker skin tones, but the darkest skin tone makeup that they made was literally just the color black. It was just black face paint. If you looked at the ingredients, you would find that there was a single pigment in it. And that pigment was black. That was it. It's like... And believe it or not, people were kind of mad about this. Because that's, A, that's lazy, and B, that's inaccurate. Even people who have, like, the darkest human skin tone, it's not just black. It's a very, very, very dark brown, and it can be a warmer dark brown or a cooler dark brown depending on the person's undertones. And to just be like, okay, here's your makeup is really insulting. I don't remember the name of the brand, and frankly, I don't want to give them any publicity because, that's racist! Not cool! Anyways, yeah, so they got in a lot of trouble for that. And, I don't know whether or not the business is still going because, woof! Terrible! Anyways. Honestly, it would have been preferable to just say they didn't want to, which is also bad, by the way. But anywho, so we have some teeny tiny skin tones, just about. Okay. Now I have to decide what colors their outfits are. And I'm going to use some purple. Because I like purple, because I think it's pretty. Weirdly enough, purple is one of the colors in this palette that I haven't used that much of, and yet, it's one of my favorite colors of the entire rainbow. And I don't paint with it nearly often enough, which is real goofy of me. Oh my god. Oh, this is so scary. Oh my god. I have made this all way too tiny. Way too tiny, but his shirt is purple and it's real cute. I think I'm gonna do like kind of a maroony sort of thing for this guy's top, which thankfully has long sleeves and is generally easier in terms of the shape of it. I hope. I think and I hope. Well, now I'm scared. But okay, that's some vague shapeage. That'll do. Oh my god. I have honestly, like, I think I generally can draw smaller than it is easy to paint, I think is what we're learning today. And then going to have some neutral tint for some dark hair. Okay, we have some hair. We're getting there. Yay. There we go. Okay. This is so hard. This is so hard because it's so little. I want to make another nice dark brown for our other bit of hair. Anyways. I hope you all have had good weeks. Trying to remember what the heck my week was like. I think my week was fine. I just don't really remember what I got up to. So the answer is I probably didn't get up to that much. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart just to like de-stress and unwind, which is not super interesting to report on because I've just been working my way through trying to get better at doing that thing where you let all of the other cars go ahead of you, and then once they've like done one trip round the lap, then you start racing them. So you give them like you give them like an extra lap time bagging. Been doing that on 150cc and trying to get first place in all the races. I'm not that good at Mario Kart, which is why this is taking me a while to do all that, but hey, you know, that's fine. It's fun. It is very, very fun. Except when you're like this close to the finish line and you're in first and some maniac hits you with a blue shell. It should be outlawed, but only when I'm the one getting hit with the blue shell, obviously. If I am deploying the blue shell, then tough biscuits. Anyways. Okay, I've drawn in some little shoesies. What color are this guy's trousers? I'm thinking, can I mix up a little bit of a greenish situation? If I take a little bit of our patina sky, then add a little bit of ochre to it, can I make a nice sort of olive green trousery color? Oh, would you look at that? I can. Yay. Okay. All right. There we go. And then I guess all I need to do is figure out what color bag he's carrying. The bag is probably just like a basic black overnight bag. So just go back in with some black. And hope that any of this will read as it's meant to when it's done. Which, honestly, they're so tiny, I don't know whether or not they will. But hopefully. Oh boy, okay, so we have a load of super tiny, like infinitesimally small details and line weight to finish next time. But I think that's probably a good place to end for now. So I'm gonna call it here and go cook dinner because I've just seen the time and oh boy, it's very dinner time. Oh shoot. Okay, let's see if I can find someone to do a raid on then. That would be a good next step, I think. Anyways, Samantha has a very funny question that for legal reasons I'm not going to answer. Oh no, okay, I have to raid now because it's trying to run an ad break. And I would very much like it to not do the— Why does it say I'm not allowed to snooze the ads? I haven't snoozed the ads at all today. Oh shoot, okay. I've got 2 minutes to find someone to raid. Did I miss when that was established? Samantha, I hadn't established that at all, but you know what? It might be. It might be. If you think that's fun, then yes. If you don't know of whence I speak, then no. Anyways, we gotta run. We gotta go. We gotta go do a little raid. Okay. Let me just check and make sure that this person isn't just about to end if we're gonna go raid them. Ah, shoot. Heck. Beans. Don't run ads. Don't run ads. Don't run ads. Please don't run ads. Oh, no. Why is it not finding the channel? They're live right now. Okay, they haven't been streaming for that long. I have never raided this person before, but they seem nice. So, we're gonna go see this streamer. I'm gonna pop a generic raid message in the chat. Ah, no, my computer's going all chuggy. It's fighting me. I'm popping a raid message in the chat. I'm going to attempt to pop some emotes into the raid message if I can. Okay, good. Here's the raid message. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can say generic raid message and or append any cool emotes that you do have. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I've had a lovely time hanging out with you all. I will be back tomorrow morning playing some Hollow Knight and stuff. It's been lovely to see you. Thank you. And thanks for watching, etc., etc. Good night and good luck. Okay, where's the mute button?